I'm Chris Saunders from Insta Graphic Systems, and today we'll be talking about mastering the art of heat transfer applications. Today's heat-applied graphics market is inundated with different types of heat press equipment, all making promises about quality and performance, and not all of them can keep. With the choices out there, how do you make an unbiased, educated guess on what press to purchase? So let's get started. Today we'll talk 4 different topics will be covered. The first is what to look for in a heat press, uses of the heat press machines, choosing the right heat press for your needs, and recent Insta improvements to the Insta line. So the first topic is what to look for in a heat press. There are 5 key elements that are important in any choice of a heat press. Even temperature. Probably the most important element in a heat press is to make sure that the temperature across your platen is even from top to bottom, side to side. Even pressure, design and material, models, and today manual versus automatic. So 5 key points we will be following. Let's talk about temperature. The even temperature, we're talking about a single versus a multiple element. It's important when you look for your heat press that you look for a single element that is cast into your upper platen. Multiple elements could cause something that would be an incorrect application, or what we call a cold spot. A cast-in element versus an element which sits on top of the upper element. Cast-in means it's inside the element, one single coil, which provides you with the temperature top to bottom, again side to side. A very important feature in picking that right heat press. Pressure. Not only is the temperature important, but to me the top 2 key elements are temperature and pressure. Even pressure. Across your platen, you want placement of pressure sources that provide you with key pressure from the very center to every corner of that platen. If the pressure isn't equal, then it would provide not a perfect transfer application. So temperature 1 and pressure. There are different ways to achieve pressure with the use of a pressure system, which could be either a piston, which is in the automatic equipment, or a cam in the manual equipment. Struts. Struts provide even pressure throughout the entire platen, top to bottom, side to side. So let's review this. Even pressure is with your pressure source, piston versus cam, and struts throughout the platen. Design and material. No matter what type of heat press you choose, the design and the material that's used are extremely important for longevity of your heat press. Ergonomic design. People using heat press equipment 24/7 want to make sure that the heat press you choose provides ergonomic usage for your worker. The last thing you want is for your worker after 2 hours of usage to say, I'm done, I can't use the machine anymore. Ergonomics is extremely important in choosing the right press, as well as sheet metal versus metal castings. You want your machine to last for a long time. The material is extremely important in what you choose. Believe it or not, the dense silicone pad, the pad that's on the bottom platen, is extremely important to provide a hard surface for the application of your transfers. Point 4, let's talk about different models. We manufacture many different models as well as all of the other people in the industry, but a swing away model, which allows you to swing off to the right or the left, gives you exposure to your bottom platen. A clamshell is up and down, exactly what it says, like a clam. So depending on what type of space you have, a clamshell versus a swing away, and we're going to get into that in a minute when you pick the correct source. Manual versus automatic. High volume production. You're in a facility that needs to produce or is working on cut pieces. You're most likely looking at an automatic piece of equipment. If it's someone that's in a shop and has 10, 20, 30 applications a day, then most likely we're going to be looking at a manual. Production speeds. We have someone sitting in our audience today that has several different machines, hundreds of machines, and his production needs to be at top speed 24/7. So he has chosen the automatic machine versus the manual machine. Before you pick your heat transfer machine, it's very important that you know what you're going to use your heat transfer machine for. So I'm going to review probably 10 to 12 different usages of the heat transfer. So our first usage is for back neck labels. You see the old labels are torn out of shirts now, and there's a lot of back neck labels that are actually heat transfers. So this is an example of two different types. In this, you'd use most likely an automatic machine with a smaller platen. Sublimation market. It's huge right now. Large, all over prints. You see two examples. Are you using a DTG pieces of equipment? Do you need it for pre and post curing with different systems? Transfer market. Are you buying stock transfers? Are you buying custom transfers? Are you doing flex? Are you doing foil? This machine, you could use either a manual or an automatic machine. As you see in several booths here, the craft and hobby market is very popular, and you need a wider gap opening. Special effects with screen printing, foiling, crinkle paper on top of screen printing. Here's two examples. Medical market, special areas to print. Are you printing on a brace? Are you printing on an arm wrap? You need automatic, you can use manual. And the safety market. We see a lot of reflective in the safety market. Believe it or not, most of that is applied with a heat press. And industrial markets, gloves. Workwear industry is huge in Europe. Umbrellas, all different types of applications that are used with transfers that do require a heat press machine. So reviewing neck labels, sublimation market, DTG, transfer market, craft and hobby, special effects with screen printing, medical, safety, and industrial. So which machine are you going to buy? What are you doing? Are you applying transfers? Are you applying with screen printing? Are you in the hobby and craft market? Two different choices. Clamshell or swing, manual or automatic. So our clamshell machine, if you have limited workspace area and you physically cannot swing your machine off to the right, I would suggest a clam press. And in pre and post cure, where your dwell time exceeds 20 seconds and you do not want to sit there and wait for it to open, then the clamshell auto release is your choice. Swing away. It gives you complete access to your lower platen, top to bottom, side to side. You need to do a letter or a number for the sporting industry. Clam press is probably not the right machine, but the manual swing is. And it also allows you to interchange your lower platen to what we call letter. The heat source in a swing away model is down away from your hands and your face, whereas with a clam press, you're looking at the heat all the time, very close to your hands. So you want to have something that's away from it, or you need it for the direct-to-garment where it's an automatic release. The choice is yours depending on what type of transfer you need it for. It's actually easier for shorter people to operate, and this is an issue in many different countries around the world, whereas grabbing up for a handle is hard to reach and bring down, whereas a swing away, your handle is lower and can swing off to the right. So choice, clam press versus swing away. Manual press, we see many people that are new to the industry actually start with a manual press. They use it 10 to 20, they see their production is growing, and then they switch into an automatic. It's for low volume production and small shops and home users. An automatic machine is for high volume production, and it's built to last. The automatic machines last 20 to 30 years, day in, day out, 24/7, years to last. And all of the equipment, regardless of manual, automatic, are 120, 240 with various heat press plugs. Believe it or not, this is a question you need to ask the manufacturer you're purchasing from. Am I getting the right plug configuration and the right voltage? So an extremely important point when purchasing your heat press. I'd like to review a couple of the innovations that Insta has provided in the last year. We are using quick change platens that anyone in the industry can give you a platen, but ours is a quick change. It allows you to take that bottom platen out and exchange it for different smaller sizes. Remember, your top platen is stationary, but it is the bottom platen that allows you to move and change. We've developed shoe platens for both our manual and our automatic machinery for customization, and sock inserts for the large sublimation industry. You can use any machine, whether manual or automatic, and with a simple cardboard insert you can press socks. And our cap platens, you see many different sizes of caps now in the marketplace. Important that you know you can produce using a larger platen or a smaller platen for any type of cap, painter's cap, and you also can use it for visors. And various size interchangeable platens on any model, manual or automatic. As the market grows with size and you see the huge presence of digital printing, so have the heat seal machines going very large. And our 288 is a 20 by 25 manual press. And our 10 by 20 is a 1 by 1.2 meter press, which is 40 by 48. The request of the market is larger heat presses for pre and post curing and for what you see on the floor today, the digital explosion. I'd like all of you to take note on our website that we have instagraph.com is our website, but we have several very important videos that you can view free of charge that are helpful hints in the industry. For example, how to print on sensitive materials, transfer removal and you've made a mistake, and how to use a cover-up label, removing moisture from heat transfers, how do you increase your production, Do you have preppers that work in your factory that are all the ones that are bringing materials to your heat presses, and all your applicator and your machine operator is doing is pressing? And tips for sensitive maintenance. What is a preventative maintenance? How do you keep your machine? Believe it or not, you do have to feed your machine like you feed your body. It needs oil, just like we need water. So it's very important. Controller presets. How do you calibrate your machine? How do you work on a manual preset? How do you work on an automatic that gives you 5 different presets for different types of heat transfer application? We continually, monthly update a video that could be very helpful for any of you in the heat press market. So tools and how-tos, important that you use websites. Any website, we provide instructional tutorial for any of you with a blog and YouTube videos. It's called Insta blog.